because I don't know, he just doesn't seem genuine to me. But he entered in and said the Cleveland Browns basically paying him extra to lose games. So that's another one. This isn't a new problem, people. This is just they're just new to fixing this. All right. So in conclusion, all right, all you slaves in the NFL, one of my favorite shows of all time was Spartacus on Stars. Rest in peace to the first Spartacus that played Spartacus. He passed away. I forget his name, but rest in peace. But anyway, this is the scenario. This is where we're at with the players. It's either this or that. And I'm going to explain with the Spartacus theory. It's either you can get with this or you can get with that. You can get with this or you can get with that. You can get with this or you can get with that. You can get with this because this is where it's at. All right, that's an old, is it a 90s song? See, I know all of it. I still use it, just like I said earlier. I still use early terms, all right? So you can either be a slave or you can be a slave that's trying to get out of the shackles. The breaker of chains. They ended up calling Spartacus the breaker of chains. It took a little skinny white man to get everybody up out of slavery. You know that's lying because they were fighting with them big ass swords and he was all little and skinny and you know you ain't carrying that. You know you ain't carrying that. I'm like 230 something, 240-ish, 230, 225-ish when I'm working out and stuff like that. And I'm that look big for me. I ain't finna fight to the death with something like that. When I'm gonna fight to the death with something that heavy, every time they swing at me, I'm like, hey, oh, I'm dead. I'm dead. Am I dead? Yeah, I'm dead. He cut my head off. I'm dead. Look, I'm looking at you. My eyes ain't even moving right now. My lips moving because I got to talk to you right now. But I'm dead. All right. Okay. So Spartacus was trying to break out of the house of Batiitis, and that's the house of the master where he kept all the slaves and was training some of these gargantuans to kill everybody that he's betting money on. All right. Now, there's this black slave that trains all the other slaves, Animaeus, all right? Now, he was Batiitis' father's slave, but now he's old in the tooth, and, you know, when you old and dusted and disgusted, all right? But he's a great fighter. He's just old and tall. He's tall and black as hell and old, all right? That's the one from 300 that was the messenger that I didn't like, that Gerald Butler just kicked down the hole like in 300. This is Sparta! It just kicked his black ass down that hole. I didn't like that. I didn't like that because first of all, it's too early in the film, and he's sending the black, not just my color black. He's like my dad and my sister. They're black. They're like Wesley Snipes and Whoopi Goldberg mixed. You know, they're black. All right. Sidney Poitier, Cicely Tyson black. All right. He's even blacker than them, and they kicked him down the hole. I didn't like that. It was too early in the movie. We always got to die early. So Animaeus is in there like he's slowly peeping. He walks around the cells and shit like he's important. But little black niglet, you the same as us. They just gave you a title. It's like Hop and Bob in the movie Life, one of my favorite movies. Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence. Oh. It's one of my favorite movies, but he's jumping around. You run afoul of Bob, you run afoul of me. I ain't gonna be. And then the boss did. So I think he hit Eddie Murphy in the stomach because he said something smart. And then Hoppin' Bob was like, yeah. And you ain't gonna mess with me. I ain't gonna be as nice as boss. New York City's. Yeah, you talking tough till we take that gun away from you. Then boss what if he got a seizure and a stroke, and then he pass away, and then you in there with us, and you ain't got no gun. Ain't nobody watching now. Now, how tough are you now? All right. Now, so the players, they got to get together. All right. So, no. Let me finish the story. So Spartacus, he was trying to lead this revolt with all the slaves to get out of the house of Batiitis. So he was going to kill Batiitis and all of them, which they eventually did. But before that, Animaeus he stopped one assassination and messed up their plan. Then they had to do another one. But this time they brought Animaeus in after he woke up out of Slave sleep. He was in slave sleep. Okay, because at first he stopped one of their plots, and then he was like, "What are you doing? You have no honor of this house. Negro, you a slave. This ain't your house, bruh. All right? This is not your house, bruh. All right? We over here getting whipped and killed. Heads cut off. Arms cut off. Legs cut off. They even cut off this dude Thangaleg because he tried to kill Spartacus in the shower or something, and they caught him. And then they cut off his thing. Oh, I was like, no. I was like, I ain't gonna mess with Spartacus after this. I'm not. And then I was like, I gotta go pee. I gotta go see if it's working still. All right. So anyway, so Anamea stopped them, and then they had a talk, and then I forgot what happened. So he realized that Batiitis at first so this is the story of Anamaeus. So Anamaeus got captured or something. He got enslaved for no reason. We never had a reason to get enslaved. So they enslaved Anamaeus, Batiitis' father. At first he was like, I'm not no slave. I'm a free man or something. He was talking, and then they kept beating him and whipping him, and I forgot, they kept messing him up. And then after a few weeks or something, Anamaeus, I am not a slave of Batiitis. And then slowly they just whipping him and 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 whipping him. And then his soul just kept getting and then one day he was like, my name is Toby. I'm Toby. I'm Batiitis. And then they gave him a brand of the Batiitis on his arm, and they branded him, and then he put his arm around young Batiitis. Young Anamaeus, and he said, you can be a great warrior if you just believe in the system that we're doing. See that arm right there? You see that arm? That's the NFL owners right there. That's Batiitis' daddy right there. That's just believe. Why were you fighting for so long? We love you. And then that messes up his head. So he's really loyal. Because everybody knows black people are the best actors. The best. You see Lupita? She almost got killed for a bar of soap. I'm like, if you're going to bust a power move as a slave, you better be a good actor. That's why I know the best actors are black. Because you really had to act when you did something that you wasn't supposed to do. Like if they catch you reading, they see you over there laughing, and then you holding up a word, and then, hey, wait a minute, who taught you? Who taught you that? Your next, look, this is why, no, better yet, we're the best at improv, because your next statement better be gold. It better be gold, because they was, just imagine these slave movies that we watch. When they mess up, they send them outside to get whipped. So when you guys are watching these rated R movies, that's the Disney version. That's the PG version. Imagine what they did in real life. So you really had to act. So Lupita, you steal a bar of soap and Massa catch you. What you doing with that soap, boy? Where you get that soap? We don't got no ivory. We only got Ivory Spring. Massa, I seen them coming. I seen them coming to burn your house down. I chase them, Massa. They was with 2 horses. They trying to kill everybody. They trying to take us. We is your property. I didn't want to leave. They said, come here, Negro. I said, no. And then they dropped the bar of soap, and I pick it up. I said, I'm bringing this to Massa, because Massa need to know what happened, and we gonna be clean. And then the master, he knows the slave full of shit, but he's like Jimmy. It's like, we know he bad. We know he snuck out and stole that. We know, but it's like, that's some good shit right there. Like, that's that Jimmy shit. That's that slave shit. That's that Jimmy shit. He's bad. We know you. I know you stole that bar of soap, little nigglet. I know you stole it, but that was good. That was good. That was damn good acting. Bravo. That was good. Okay, so Animaeus was he was brainwashed, and so basically Spartacus changed his mind. They revolted, they killed him, and then they were out there in the free world. They were fighting for their freedom, and then they had to fight another. Then they had to fight another house boss and this and that. Then they had to fight. The war went on. At the end of when it's all said and done, Spartacus died. You know they had to get him. Animaeus eventually died. You know you can't be out there fighting wars and you 60 something years old and you gonna last. So yeah, he met his maker, and then about a handful of them actually went free. When it's all said and done, the war was over. A handful of them got away, babies and couple fighters and this and that. Which in real life they probably died. They swept them up. They cleaned them up. They weren't gonna run too far. They had the baby and stuff like that. They ain't had too much food. Y'all wasn't getting away. They cleaned them up. They found them in real life. But that's what it's gonna take. That's what it's gonna take. And it's gonna be casualties, just like with everything. Just like when we fought for our freedom to be recognized as a full citizen. That's what it's going to take. Some of y'all going to lose jobs. Some of y'all going to lose opportunities. But it's going to be for the greater good. And hey, you never know. You never know. Maybe you never know. Maybe it might work out for the best while you still at that age of having a career. Maybe. We don't know. So kudos to Brian Flores for exposing the NFL for being racist, and hopefully we change this culture. You've heard it here, Frankie, the Real McCoy Sports Podcast on the DPN, Dream Podcast Network.